Hi guys, welcome back to Entrepreneurship. I'm excited to introduce Intro to Entrepreneurship class. This class is a lot of fun class. It's a class that can actually change lives. It's a class that will give you the tools to be able to determine if you have an idea that is viable to go to market. Now, the way I like to conduct this class is by breaking out into different pieces. There are two different theoretical frameworks that we will cover. The first theoretical framework is, can you build it? You see, under this theory, we're going to be looking at what are the attributes that an entrepreneur needs to have in order to build a company. Some of these attributes will include things like vision, perseverance, and of course, resourcefulness. And what we are trying to gauge is how ready are you to start your company? How ready are you to make yourself a believer that you can actually build your dream? And of course, in addition to that part, can you make others believe that you can also build this company? The second theoretical framework that I like to cover is, can you find paying customers? At the end of the day, you can have a company, but if you can't find paying customers, then you don't have a business, right? In order for a business to be successful, it needs to find paying customers, and then eventually you need to run that company in such a way that is profitable. So the way we're going to look at this semester is that those two theoretical frameworks are going to be culminating in what we call an elevator pitch. So let's dive in. So this is the course syllabus for Entrepreneurship 1. Please mind that you can always get a hold of me via text message or email me. I do have my office hours via Zoom. These are going to be by schedule, and usually are going to be scheduled on Mondays and Wednesdays between 12 and 1 p.m. Pacific in Eastern time. So one of the things that we'll do is define what an entrepreneur is. So we're going to look at those details. Right? One of the things that we want you guys to walk away is understanding that entrepreneurship, it could happen at any point, at any age, at any level, as long as you're ready to go ahead and get started in your company. We are going to be looking at some of my past experiences as an entrepreneur, companies that I've started. I will reflect back on companies that have been successful and companies that have not been successful, so that we can get a full view of things that work, things that didn't work, and how we overcome temporary defeats or failures so that we can continue to move forward in order to create this. We would also look at a couple of books that are going to lead us through this conversation of entrepreneurship. And one of them, which I pretty much think is one of the keys to understanding how to compete and how to get customers, and the book is going to be The Innovator Solutions by Clay Christensen. But before we get into those details, let's talk about some of the course objectives. One of the objectives that we have is for students to be able to evaluate their interests, attitudes, and talents to assess your overall readiness to begin a new business. Analyze the advantages and disadvantages of buying an existing business or creating one from scratch, meaning that you can buy someone else's business that already has some customer base, or you can even buy into a franchise, right? So there are three ways to look at how you can enter entrepreneurship: starting from scratch, buying an existing business and carrying on, or buying into a franchise. Understanding the process of identifying and screening a new business. Now, this is really one of the key parts of what we do as business people. We're able to analyze very quickly in our heads and evaluate if a business idea will actually be profitable. Explore sources of funding and business advice for new ventures. Articulate the importance of a solid business plan and key concepts. Demonstrate the key entrepreneurial leadership qualities and explain key strategies for growth of a new business. Now, the way that we are going to evaluate the outcomes is going to assess your readiness, ability, and aptitude for entrepreneurship, for you to be able to verbally articulate the value proposition of an entrepreneurship venture, and of course, identifying how entrepreneurship can impact your life and, of course, that of society. In terms of course communication, contacting me is absolutely a must. The best way that we're going to be able to work together is by staying in contact. Like I said, you can text me. If you are going to text me, I need you to put ENTR1 and then your name, at least on your first text. I do have many classes and I do have many students. So if somebody was to ask me, what's going on in today's assignment, I would have no idea what today's assignment is unless you tell me what class you're in, and of course your name so I can follow up. You can always contact me at agraves@chabotcollege.edu, and of course you can send me a message through Canvas as well that it was covered in an earlier video. Stay in contact with me after class if you wanted to. You can find my business profiles under Alan J. Graves at any of the big handles, Facebook, including LinkedIn, which is here on your syllabus as well. Grading and attendance. Now, some of these classes are going to be virtual or on Zoom. The way that we look at attendance is by you completing your assignments. If you're not completing your assignments, then you are not going to be getting your attendance points, and you're not going to be able to get the full grades. Your assignments are going to be driven every week, or are going to be due every week. There's going to be several assignments. Sometimes in a week, there'll be 1 or 2. Sometimes it'll be 3 or 4 assignments that are due. At Chabot College, we don't do plus or minuses. It's just going to be full grades. So if you get that 89%, right, is not enough for an A, because that's 90% or higher, that will get you an A. If you're between 80% and 89, that's a B. A C is 70% to 79, 60 to 69% is a D, and of course, anything under 59% is going to be an F. These are the required textbooks. You're going to be looking at a textbook that is called Entrepreneurship Successfully Launching New Ventures by Beringer and Duane. This is an ebook, so it's already in Canvas for you. Then you have to buy anything. So all you got to do is just click on the link and be able to read the book. Now, the second book that we read is going to be The Innovator Solution by Clay Christensen. We're only hyper-focused in the reading in the chapters 2, 3, and 4. However, reading the entire book is going to be very valuable for you. This book can also be purchased online or on Amazon at very, very low price, $199, $499, $99, $999. I'm also going to make a link available in the classroom in Canvas so that you can also have it for free. Now, let's talk a little bit about the principles of using AI in this class. The reality is that generative AI, or artificial intelligence, can produce amazing content, text, images, and even voice media. I encourage you guys to use AI for your research, your resources, really immerse yourself and get to know these new tools. Right? It's kind of like Google in the back, or AOL, American Online in the 1990s, where people were like, oh my gosh, how are students going to, find all these documents online, just copy and paste this and plagiarize it and so on. Well, the reality is that at the end of the day is that AI cannot pass this course. So therefore, any documentation that is submitted and is used AI is not going to be able to pass the course. When you have to do verbal presentations, like a video like that I'm doing right now, it cannot be an AI gen voice. It cannot be a generative AI, video. It has to be you speaking to the camera, telling me what you've learned. And that is going to be the biggest takeaway and value in this class. At the end of the day, this college course is for you to get you ready for life, not necessarily to just pass and get a grade, but to actually get you ready to be able to compete in the workforce or in business as you get older. So to reiterate, right, students must submit your own work, meaning you have to write your own thoughts, and you're going to have to do your required videos. And if you find anything on AI that is wonderful, you may want to cite it. That's fine as an additional information, but we want to make sure that the majority of the content, it is 100% yours. And of course, academic integrity, right? I expect you to do your own work. I expect you to, for you to learn on your own so that you can make this happen. In this course, we're going to be looking at projects, right? So if you can find all of your assignments already outlined out here by due dates. I'm going to jump into assignments real quick and kind of just talk about the projects that we have for this class so you know what to expect. This class is a progressive class, meaning that when you learn something and you submit one assignment is going to build onto the next assignment, onto the next assignment. And the collage of those assignments are going to be able to use to produce the projects. So like I said, this class is going to have 5 major projects. These are your 5 leading assignments or projects that are going to be heavily weighted towards your final. The first project is the theory of my value prop, theory 1, right? Which is my value proposition is, can I build it? Can I build this value proposition, this business idea that I have? The project number 2 is going to go all around, can I find paying customer? Under that can I find paying customer theoretical framework, there's going to be a lot of sub steps, such as identifying your ideal customer, identifying how big the market is, identify the competitors, competitive analysis. So in these 2 parts of the section of the class are going to be very heavily in being able to prove that 1, you can build it, and 2, that you can actually find paying customers. Project number 3, it's an amazing project because it's the financial forecast. This is when students that are able to see how much money they can make. And it's a wonderful, life-changing project, because if you can build it, right, if you can find paying customers, then your ability to see how much money you can make is going to be extraordinary in the 1-year pro forma. And then after that is going to be a draft elevator pitch, and that's just to get you going, speaking in public, speaking to the camera, talking about your findings in 2 minutes or less. You're going to summarize everything that you've done in this semester in 2 minutes or less. And then, of course, your final is going to be an elevator pitch that is going to be under 2 minutes and be graded based on everything that we've learned. So once again, this class is progressive. This means that if you miss project 1, you can't do project 2. You definitely cannot get project 3 done, 4, or 5. So in order for you to pass this class, all of these projects have to get done in chronological order. Now, I do get some students that they get to the financial forecast, and when they look at the financial forecast, they realize that, hey, maybe this idea is not going to make as much money as I want to. I do have this other idea that I think I want to pursue. And there is not a problem for you to change your business idea that late into the semester. However, you do have to do the hard work all over again to prove that you can build it. What is the value proposition behind it? Do your market research to identify that you can find customers, and then you can do your forecast, your financial forecast, to see if you can create a profitable venture. So this is Entrepreneurship 1. The way that we are going to be leading into this class is by following the assignments and going through this. This class is absolutely amazing. It's inspirational. Section 1 is all about digging deep into the roots of who you are as an individual. And then number 2 is all about your ability to go and find paying customers. And then on project 3 is being able to have that visualization of how much money you can make. And then 4 and 5 is your ability to actually put it into words to get your business started. So that's Entrepreneurship 1. I look forward to seeing you in class.